a little bit and talk some information and put some knowledge out there into the air and answer any questions if anybody wanted to stop by with any questions, gain any knowledge. Um, it's kind of bare right now, but I'm hoping a few people will come in. I've over the course of my extensive research, I wouldn't call them papers, but I have two long notes with a couple of others. And these notes basically are describing what happened throughout history, each of the core characters. And I was talking to somebody on my page called Internal Hood Affairs recently, and he was showing me the different names and different books. I don't advocate for cigarettes, but I smoke them. This person was showing me different names and different books, and I'm starting to notice a lot of weird stuff happening because throughout history, if you guys can remember, not history, but in the later years, they had all these epidemics coming out. They had Y2K, everything's supposed to reset. They had 2012, they had COVID, and there was a few things before that. You know what I mean? All these epidemics. And so the crazy thing is, I want to tell people, even when you see an epidemic happening on the news or something, they're not doing nothing but selling products. You see how much toilet paper was a thing, and then all of a sudden it's flying off the shelves and paper towels. Then all of a sudden they're selling millions of dollars worth of stuff. Come and explain something to you, like recycling, right? You can recycle a lot of products and then create new products. With all of that product that you're recreating, you're creating a new business or you're creating. I'll give an example. They have stuff called shell companies and branched out companies. So let's say somebody's an investment firm and they have billions of dollars dealing with investments and stuff. What eventually happens is they go out throughout the world and then they start out other businesses. Like maybe they're a financial institution, then they open 1,000 chains of restaurants, they open 1,000 bookstores, they open all these different businesses. But you will never really know who owns that business, because even if a business owner has a business, he's still either contracted through a loan, he has business partners, maybe an LLC or a publicly traded company. And so a lot of times people will own a company, and then when they sell too many shares or something, they'll lose a portion of that company, and they call that a hostile takeover. You see all these random events happening, the Great Depression and all these depressions and stuff. And then the crazy thing is they'll say it's because spending isn't enough, but it's because I tell you guys, the government and the CEOs and all them, which are basically kings and rulers, they regulate the prices and the taxes. And so for years and years, everything's the dollar at the dollar menu. And then all of a sudden, all these prices and gas and everything starts going up. That's not the customers. That's the government and the corporation. A corporation plant is a transliteration of a plantation. I'm telling you it is. And so I found a lot of different angels. If and a time frame of things that actually happened. If I look back on the angels, you have four major books. You have Amos, which is Moses, Akhenaten, which is Joshua. You have Zoroaster, which is John the Baptist, and then you have, or Zoroaster, which is Elijah, and then you have John the Baptist. Well, then those are the first four seals. Well, then you have the three woes after them: Muhammad, William Tyndale, and Martin Luther King. Then I am the angel with the vial of fire. The angel with the vial of fire, the beginning of the revelation and the end of the revelation are the same thing. The angel that creates Jerusalem, brings down daughter Zion, and burns up the other stuff. Because what the other angels reported to who I am, once their words cried up to me from the ground, like in the days of Cain and Abel. Mentuhotep 2 is Abel. He's basically Ham. If you transliterate his name, you get him 10. So, those seven angels that I just named, and then Atum, whatever, and then Mentuhotep is the foundation of the world in the ark. Cain is the flood. Mean Narmer spread all these gods and stuff throughout the world because it was a tomb or something like that, the unseen one. Then they turned it into Mayat. Well, when Mentuhotep 2 came, Abel, he sacrificed the ways of Mayat and those old gods, and then they became the Phoenix. Yeshua appeared right after Mentuhotep 2. He reformed all that stuff and cleaned it out. Then later, the Hyksos invaded Egypt and did a whole bunch of buffoonery, the Asiatic shepherd kings, and then pharaohs appeared. They'll say the God of Shem is blessed, but the God of Shem brought pharaohs. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. And so, basically, every day I just want to talk to people and get people to understand. There's this one artist, this guy, he made a song called $1 Million Baby. And I noticed all these artists and stuff, it all starts about 7 years ago. Even if they got videos longer than 7 years ago, what ends up happening is they're like totally different videos. I've been looking through this stuff. Then these people are coming out. I have a song by Cardi B and another song by Future and another song by somebody in my playlists and my actual videos. I make Hustle Castle videos and I put songs on them. Now I'm listening this dude named Tommy something with the song $1 Million Baby. That's a mashup of Cardi B's song. That's a mashup of Cardi B's song and that one song that goes, I need a rider, do 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 do, to stand up and ride up, do 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 do. I think you can handle this shit right here. It's a mashup of those three songs. And then, like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm noticing then this other guy, somebody named John something, Preston or Press something. They're talking about selling John packs and books for $1,400. Nobody was talking about John the Baptist or Khan Academy or Khan until I came out 3-4 years ago talking about Khan Academy is a great place to learn and that John the Baptist was the real crucified one. Now all these transliterations of John is out, Yehanans and Yeo. I have never seen somebody outside of Ethiopia named Yehanan in my life. Now there's Yehanans everywhere. JB6 is everywhere. There's this dude named Motown JB6 or Big, I don't even know, JB, and these other artists named JB, all from 7 years ago. And now they're selling all kind of music. I'm telling you, like, I don't know if people love the Matrix. I don't know exactly what's going on. But somebody is taking culture and history, creating new with it, and then taking the people who created the history and making them devils. Mayans, Egyptians, all of them they were dabbling into electricity, metallography. They were mixing copper with other elements, and they had copper lamps. They had brain surgeries because the Mayans did. The Mayans left Africa and Egypt and Mesopotamia, and then now they know how to do brain surgery and build pyramids outside of European or Semitic influence. But now the Europeans and the Semitic people are like, oh, Lord God, and all this other stuff and run around talking about they inventing stuff. Medicine has been here for over 5,000-6,000 years. Almost as ancient as farming and irrigation. The pharaohs, Egyptians had plumbing in their pyramids. Plumbing. Then they'll go, Benjamin Franklin invented electricity. He invented electricity at the same time computers were coming out. The computers are from the early 1800s. AI is from the 19-something. And then they'll say the Greeks, the Germans and Americans invented philosophy and psychology. No, they didn't. Sunesis, Amenemop, the Egyptians, and all of them with the ancient knowledge did. Then the Greeks created philos. They created the theos and mixed into the Torah. And then Pharisees appeared around 500 BC. Then the Romans came and destroyed the Pharisees. And one of those Pharisees named Josephus, a.k.a. Peter, changed his name to a Roman name. Peter, who I call something because it was Greek. It's right there. Then I'm noticing something else. I've been knew about this, but they're curing AIDS. They're curing cancer with AIDS, and they're curing all these diseases and stuff. And none of it makes sense to me. It's all, then Dr. Sebi, who's trying to tell the truth, he mysteriously dies. All these people come out with engines that don't require oil and can use water, and they die and disappear. Come on, dude. It's all right there. They're stealing other people's cultures and ideas. Then they're talking about, oh, we're the one. Go look up anything about knowledge. Computers, science, all this stuff. The Greeks, the Germans, the Europeans. Go look who helped Tesla and the man who fixed the light bulb, whatever his name is. Go look and see if it wasn't an African-American man who did that. Their glass filament wasn't working. It was way too bright, so he had the glass filament. The wire kept burning out. Right, they didn't know what they were doing. Look at Einstein, a real Jew. They used him to go create bombs and stuff. But if you research Einstein, he was a peaceful man. He didn't know they was finna drop that bomb on them like that. Jew is a transliteration of a yew tree. Go Google a yew tree. It's a coniferous tree that doesn't die. It lives year-round like an evergreen. And the fact that it's on fire year-round is the fires that don't consume. They're turning symbols into religions and races. There was no Europeans in the Semitic culture in 1000 BC. They came down and started attacking Africa, Carthage, and all these other cities in the Library of Alexandria. Stop. Now the Pope is a god. Now these people that own churches are gods. Look how much power and fire they have. They'll tell everybody money's the root of all evil, but make sure you tie to the church. but then call people out here beggars. These churches are doing the same thing. Then they'll be like, well, I read the word today. I don't have to go feed and do all this other stuff. Homelessness is so sad. God's blessing the whole world. No, he's not. I am who I am is the name. I am the one bringing the name. JB, Job, John the Baptist, Yahweh, Jehovah, all transliterations of JV. But then I'm telling people I figured out resurrection. I figured out what's happening. They'll look at me and call me schizo, crazy, all sorts of stuff. Then they'll go to a video with the Germans and the popes and listen to all this crazy shit, waiting for the Lord to come down and behead all of them for a rapture. It's supposed to say I am, not Jesus. No man, even to me, no matter how powerful I want to be, I'm an angel of the Lord, because you all are the Lord's too. All of you. Every time you say I am a God and somebody goes and says schizophrenic crazy, tell them to never open the fucking Bible again. Tell them to never say Jehovah again. None of that. Then when they say Jesus, tell them they're saying I am a gracious pig, because sus in Latin is pig. I've been doing all this research at every point. Somebody from the Middle East or Asiatic invaders. Somebody from Europe or Asiatic invaders. Hamitic, Kemetic culture was beautiful. Balance, NTR, that's nature. They took the gods of the Kemet, because they didn't know what they were doing, started reading symbols and hieroglyphics. They did the same thing with hieroglyphics as they did with Hebrew. Oh, these symbols, let's fill in words. Oh, these consonants, let's fill in vowels. Melchizedek, if you take out the vowels, it's Melech Zedek, the Jews of Melech, from Abraham, Brahma, the Indus Valley and Babylonians coming up and attacking Canaan in Europe, at Canaan in Africa. Africa and Canaan was before Babylon, Assyria, Greece, all that. At first it was Egypt. They migrated east. Me and Narmer had a city built called Canaan. If you take Narmer Cain and take the I-N out of Narmer Cain and then look at the Pharaoh's rod, that's Nimrod. Nobody wants people to know. They keep coming up with all these weird names, not translating stuff right. Akhenaten's son Tetumaten was called Saul. Aen-Haramhub was Samuel. Then they created Saul, Ramses, which is Goliath, and then the literal David, Sunestis, had to come fight his oppressive kingdom, but he was corrupt too. Then Amenemop, who was Solomon, who had all the wisdom, had to come do some stuff. They took him out too, and the Semitic people would look. I'm gonna show you something interesting. The gold in Nebuchadnezzar's statue, Tetumaken, was buried in gold, and he tore apart Akhenaten's legacy and went back to Ma'at and all these gods. Then Sunessis was buried in silver. Then Nebuchadnezzar came around right when Assyria and Babylon instituted bronze burials for bronze tubs. He's the bronze thighs. Then the iron in the feet, that's the pagan god Jesus Christ. I'm telling you it is. It doesn't lead you to the Father. It's the Baal that leads you to Melech. God is from Germanic paganism. So I've been trying to tell people this, and I've been trying to open eyes and tell people I am who I am. I am that which sends me. I am the Most High. Now you say that. I'm not saying for me total, but although everybody that mocks me and steals from me, this might sound confusing right now, are going to be handed over. Where does the Bible come from? Where do any of these words come from? Why are all these prophets and major men transliterations of my name? People need to find themselves and they'll understand the true resurrection. They'll talk about, look, first a major god, Sanatan Dharma, reincarnation and all this other stuff. Now Satan's the devil and reincarnation is evil. And they want you to cling to Jesus Christ so you can die in his kingdom. I'm telling you. Then when you speak up on it, they'll be like, oh, you can live forever in heaven, but saying reincarnation is schizo. What? They're playing y'all. They're creating religion. Then when they tear people apart or turn them into perfect conformers, afterwards, if you're not a perfect conformer, they're going to lock you up. They're going to diagnose you. They're going to call you names. They're not going to hire you. And they're going to destroy you in the media. I'm going to name a bunch of famous African Americans. Big Howard the Genius. The Hodge twins. Candace Owens. Terrell K. Williams. Why are they all so fucking famous? Because they're tearing down the blacks and the poor. I'm telling you. Then you go read any of their comments and it's ridiculous. You're telling the truth about those blacks. You're telling the truth about them. Our people are righteous and Jesus is going to come save us one day and blah, 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 blah. Have no idea what they're talking about. They wanted a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. Listen to what I'm telling you. And when Who I Am came like this, I'm going to show you something interesting about the Egyptian women pulling Moses out of the rivers. When I was a baby, for some random reason, and you can ask my parents about this story, when I was a baby, and this started it, I fell into the tub for some reason. Some just led me to jump into the tub. My sister was filling the bathtub, and she went to her room. My mom, out of nowhere, got a thought, ran upstairs, and pulled me, and came and got me. That story has stuck with me to this day. Then all throughout my life, I'm noticing every word in this book is stomping me on the head. A long time ago when I was a kid, I used to say, I'm the son of God. I'm Jesus. I'm the way. And I used to get whoopings. I used to get in trouble. All people in the world call me names. Why is that? Y'all are waiting for a return. If I had magic powers and blue eyes and blonde hair, would it be right? Then I'll get on religious people's streams. They don't do no history, research, or nothing. They're just blindly accepting Jesus. I got on a God Logic stream, and my name is JB6. On the 6th day, God will make mankind in the image of who he is. JB, J turned to Y, or Y turned to J. There was no J. And B turned and high V turned to B in German. The Romans and the Germans in English. My name is Yahweh 6. You think anybody understands what that means? They'll read the Revelation. He comes down with the name that nobody understands, and his name is the Word, and he has a knife in his blah blah blah. You devil, you're crazy. Go get help, blah blah blah. I can't make this up. People will destroy you when you get wise. When you start to speak out on their institutions, they will try to destroy you. I was working in a psych. Okay, so all these different jobs I apply, I can't get nothing. Then I get into CNA healthcare, which I'm led to do, and now I'm wiping old people's butts and taking care of the mentally ill. But these people can get out here on cameras and say one thing and get 50,000 subscribers, talk crazy and all this stuff. Right? Then they'll tell me, okay, you're here in healthcare. Don't speak on no religion. Don't speak on none of this stuff that can help them or anything. Just let them suffer and take their medication. What? Then in the midst of that, talk to them and communicate with them and spend every day with them and make sure they're okay. So I'm just going to be a slave, right? Do everything everybody tells you to do. If you don't do it right, you're wrong. A long time ago, my parents told me, do you feel like a beast if you don't give your life to God? I find the God. My parents are telling me, oh, get out of this stuff. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Blah, blah, blah. All African Americans, oh, racism's everywhere. It's hard to do anything. Life is so miserable when they're down. Then when they rise, oh, it's easy. You can do it. Get a job. It's not racist anymore. The Lord King Jesus. It's a trap. I don't care if they're your family, your mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin, your girlfriend. Live your life. And if people have a problem with that, they can fuck off. If they can drop bombs on Hiroshima, if they can blow up Palestine, I can say, get the fuck out of my face. I don't believe in Jesus Christ. If they can believe in the Anunnaki and bombing people and following the God of Shem, then I can live off the land and do what the fuck I want. Y'all can have tax breaks and be filthy fucking rich while Bill Gates diagnosed all these people in India and now they're all sterile and paralyzed and all this other shit. You think they put that on the news? Fuck out of here. But they'll talk about Dr. Sebi. They'll talk about how bad Gaddafi and them was. Oh, but they can just go assassinate anybody in any country. Go look at how many presidents the French assassinated in Africa. The French are still colonizing Africa. Go watch these videos in South Africa of these Caucasians that are in the Christian community and gated communities talking about we're preparing for the rapture, riding around with guns and big tanks and stuff. And the government's cheering them on. Or these huge African-American advocates that work inside of Toyota now and Honda and now have big mansions in Nigeria while their brothers and sisters live on that lake town on the other side. But I'm crazy. Do you know what a system is? Imagine you guys keep saying God has all this power and God can do all this stuff. Okay. What if he had the power and reincarnation was real? What if you guys that are kings get to do all this stupid shit And then who I am raises you in an oppressive society. I've said this before. What if Hitler ran around and acted a nut and then was born as a Jewish person right after? So like I said, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to give people the truth. I'm trying to help them understand you all are being robbed over and over and over. Then the people that are robbing us of our spirit are going out making huge fan bases because they don't have no soul, so to speak. They don't have no entertainment value or anything. They just steal, copy. Then they'll talk about blue pill, the Matrix Smith while they're copying some shit. It's like nobody has a source. I'll tell people to say, I am who I am. I am sends me. I am the King of Kings. I am the Most High. And who I am is the Prince of Peace. They won't say that. They won't go explore into that. They'll say, let's go into the rabbit hole some more. Learn about all these religions, all this false history, all these lies. So all I could do is be a beacon, a light. Everybody that wants to perish. The book even says the whole generation perished in Egypt because they don't fucking listen. And all the younger people had to be circumcised. Then Bernie Sanders getting on here. Why don't we stop Israel from bombing the Palestinians? Boy, if you don't shut your fucking rich ass up, all you rich people, y'all all just running y'all mouth. All of us in government, why can't we stop Israel? But y'all are the ones giving them the fucking money. Then y'all can go, I'll pull up a video right now. All niggas love his booty. All niggas this. All niggas that. Niggas. Black women can't figure it out. But if you say something about the Jews, the Jewish community, Europe, Germans, Romans, struck off the page, anti-Semitism, blah, 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 blah. Shit funny as fuck to me. I'm going to show you how ironic this all is. I just told y'all when I was following their perfect system, I had a job. My car was working fine. Everything was going good. I started speaking out on this shit, man. I caught histoplasmosis, lost my job. My car broke down. Is that a coincidence? Are you going to say that all happened after I started speaking about the Germans and the Jews and the Romans? Candace Owens lost her job. It's right there, but nobody wants to listen. The Jews are the Nazis. I don't give a fuck if you cancel me. If you Anglo-Saxons, Friesians, Jutes. If you take the T out of Jutes, it's Jews. The barbarians, the Germans, the Saxons, and the Jutes that conquered and became the Germans and the Jews. Greek is a transliteration of Gre-UK. The only difference is a U. Ger, man. G-R-E, man. It's all bullshit. And every time you speak out against them, they're going to try to destroy you. But now I'm here, and I'm coming with the words of fire. Shit don't make no sense. Every time I see an African-American rapper, gangster, drugs, booty, blah, blah, blah. Then I see Caucasian rappers saying all these intelligent, crazy, wise lyrics. But then I see African-Americans doing that. 500 views, no publicity, no publishing. Then you get Cardi B. Porn is super fucking awesome, dude. Diddy dancing around. Got Biggie killed. I'm pretty sure he was involved with Tupac. Fuck out of here. You see what happened with Suge Knight? Oh, this dude was just the most corrupt man on the fucking planet. Oh, but he made it and he prospered. Then later in history, when he tried to go against their agenda and said they was lying, they locked him up. When they tried to make a movie about his life, they'll take your fucking rights. They'll take your stories, all that. I'm pretty sure if I'm gone and yet to resurrect again or whatever you guys want to call it, because y'all will say, we'll go to the Lord Jesus Christ. But then somebody say resurrection. That's in y'all book and y'all won't believe it. It's crazy. Pure craziness out here. Finding out Beethoven was a Jew. A lot of different people in history. When they say Jew, they're not talking about European Caucasians. They're talking about Semitic, dark African people. It was Africa and Canaan at first. The Ethiopians went through that little strait down there, and the rest of them went up through the Nile. That's why you have Onan, Iman, and Amman, those two countries down there, and all those dark people. British came down, Anglo-Saxons came down, and mixed with all these Indian people and Middle Eastern people, and now they're light-skinned. Look, even in Asia, it's praised to be light-skinned. This lady recently trying to run for office, the Indian woman and the Indian man, both praising Britain, talking about, oh, the African Americans they need. But if you come live in my skin, go try to get a loan. Go try to do anything. Go try to get a job. You're going to be filling out 560 applications. And when you get one, they're going to make sure you so tore down that you jump in that job saying, yes, master, I'll sweep. The job I just worked at, all Caucasians in management, all the CNAs in kitchen and everybody else, African Americans. Then on the meetings, all the management sits up top. Oh, you guys did this, that, you're causing this, that, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. Sounds like slavery minus the beatings. Then they'll say verbal abuse is worse than physical abuse. While they verbally fucking abuse you. Make you sing along to a national anthem that says, the heralding of the slave. Where do you think this fucking eagle came from? The falcon? Yeah, buddy. They like falcons because when they dive down, they can catch prey at any speed. They can kill wolves and deer. And they fly up again and the sun doesn't affect their eyes. It doesn't blind them. The fiery falcon. Then they turn it into the American bald eagle. Y'all don't have nothing. They can't even recreate pyramids. And it's been 4,000 years. But the Egyptians and the Mayans did it. But let them tell it, ooh, Africa. Bunch of... So keep stealing from my people. Y'all gonna sit, look what they do with knowledge and wisdom. Psychology and the matrix and are we real? And oh my goodness, Jesus Christ. They don't know how to handle it. And the people that can teach them, they destroy it. The French. Okay, so African. Rican. Where'd the word Rika and Rican come from? It comes for it means forever ruler. The crown, the beginning. Africa and Rome mixed together. They made the Spanish. The Moors and all that. Well, Rome did a lot of advancement, if you will. Rome and the Frisians mixed, and you have the French. You have the Spaniards, who are supposed to be darker African in Rome. Then you have the French, who is European in Rome. Then you have the Anglo-Saxon the Anglo-Saxons and the Jutes. The Anglo-Saxons mixed with the Irish, the British, the Scottish. They're Vikings. They took over all that land. And so did the Jutes. The Jews. Where does that word come from? So I can give out as much information as I want. Anybody that has a question or wants to ask me anything, I am happy to answer. When I get irate is when people come on and attack me. Even if you give me your ideas or where you think something comes from, then we can discuss it. And that's how we build each other and learn. If somebody gets on here and goes, you're a fucking liar. This happened and that happened and this and it. Okay. Believe what you want. I don't care. Knowledge isn't to destroy each other with. It's to build up so we can all be kings. Keep telling you, why do you think the internet's pumping I am all over Instagram and all these different books? They know what they're doing. But they want the power. They'll take something like I am or take a covenant from the 10 Commandments from ancient men giving life. And then they'll be like, oh, look, we're doing brain surgeries and AI and mapping and we're scientists and we created it all. So when your future generations lose information and can't keep up because the true nature of who are truly intelligent and wise are all destroyed, then you're all going to destroy yourselves just like Rome did. Just like the Greeks did. So, I just try to get on here to give us, to teach people, give them a roadmap. I'm going to post different things at different points. They won't let me put that whole scroll on my community page, but it's talking about the 7 angels, the beginning, Atum. Atum. That comes from Egypt. It's the Garden of Egypt, not Eden. It comes, the god of Shem was the Canaanite storm god. They put that on I am who I am. So even history says Egypt was first and Africa was first. But they try to bury it and make us look like monkeys and turn us into slaves. Then you'll see you have all these atheists that are out and don't believe in it, and they're perfectly fine. They're building and becoming great. But then when African Americans or other people try to come out, and that's the Caucasian community, when African Americans try to come out as that, oh, give your life to Jesus, you're a failure, you're not going to pass. Or, oh, whatever, you're this and that, and they'll use psychology on you when you do break away from it and create your own story. They'll call you names and shit. So if I am schizophrenic, then so is your God, Jesus. If I'm schizophrenic, so is Aaron and Moses. If I am schizophrenic, so is Philos and the German and Greek philosophers. Because that's where all your information came from. And so what you all try to do to me will manifest in the world. Go watch videos about when that train in Palestine, Ohio derailed. And all those civilians were talking about, am I real? Am I alive? Am I? That was about 2.5, 3 years ago. All over the news. If I'm lying. Right. I came like the storm, and I am not going to stop until my fucking house is healed and all my people are freed. I came out with a video called Free My People or Let My People Go, and YouTube struck it. That was the title. Let My People Go, and YouTube struck it and said this is against community standards. Let my people go. Moses in the Ten Commandments in their movie was a Caucasian. But then when African Americans made that movie about Cleopatra, oh, they tried to sue Netflix. Fucking idiots. It's gonna come back. Call no man a fool or an idiot. Go follow your pagan god, because I can follow that red wine and be alive all day. Because I don't just follow John. I got Elijah. I got Joshua. I got all the judges and prophets. I got all that shit. Go do a great reset and make that disappear. See if you all don't go into fucking psycho land.